Hello and welcome back to our YouTube channel. Now, obviously by the title, we're going to be talking about Neil Lennon. Now, before you feel like you've been clickbaited, here are the images of what Neil Lennon did to Rangers fans. Now, obviously the first one is him giving it the get it up you kind of gesture. And the second one is him giving Rangers fans the let's hear you. That could have been about the scoreline. It could have been about the result. Either way, it is pretty much unacceptable for a manager to do that to opposition fans, particularly someone who used to play for the bitter rivals of our team and someone who used to manage the bitter rivals of our team, someone that's always been hated. But at the same time, Blair, here's something that gave me, a bit of a contrasting kind of thought in my mind, because I saw lots of Rangers fans were, there was two types of Rangers fans after seeing this. The majority were saying, look, it's disgraceful, it's not fair, it's not on, you can't incite fans like that. But the other half of Rangers fans, or, the minority in this case, from the ones that I saw anyway, they were saying he was getting it for 90 minutes. He's got it for multiple years, and he has the right to give it back too. Which side of the fence do you sit on there? Do you think it was right? Do you think you could, reasonably explain why he did this?
I think, I was thinking about this morning when we were talking about it. You wouldn't see this happening in this game.
I was thinking that as well. You wouldn't see a Rangers manager do that, would you? Particularly not recently, anyway.
No, it's even, I would go as far as saying Conte against Tottenham. But again, that was just passion. Like, there was no like he was going over to the fans and goading them or being insightful. It defies all belief that that's an advert for Scottish football as an opposition manager. No matter his past or his history towards the club he's against, he was inciting violence by, in my opinion, it was anyway, by doing that. Easily a fan could have jumped a barrier and went at him like it did against Hearts years ago.
Bear in mind, we're talking about the guy that received threats from his own fans at Celtic. We're talking about the guy that literally had a fake bomb mailed to him as a warning for his behaviour. And I wouldn't have been surprised. And in a sense, Blair, should we not be proud and happy in the fact that, our fans didn't retaliate by jumping over the barrier?
I think that's expected. We knew that if we didn't go our way yesterday, Neil Lennon was always going to, take the mickey out of it a little bit. And I was surprised. Well, I wasn't surprised that he did it. But I was probably more proud of the fans, for not going in and retaliating to Neil Lennon. Because that, as I said, I'd never actually seen the end of the game. I mean, after, the final whistle, I just turned the game off. But after seeing the pictures, I couldn't even imagine a manager doing anywhere else in the world.
Neither. And so for, pure information-wise here, I completely agree with Blair. But for the sake of the video, I'm going to argue the case of the other Rangers fans. And basically what they're saying is behind you as a manager during the game, you're going to get popcorn teeth, you're going to get ginger twat, you're going to get all of these insults thrown at you, which, to be honest, someone like myself, I really don't care. I really don't care when people insult me. It's always been that way for me. I used to be the fattest guy going. But for a manager and someone who's in the limelight, someone, playing Rangers, particularly when you're managing Hibs, in Hibs, first game against Rangers back in the SPL, that's a very, very stressful fixture. So to hear these voices behind you, what people are basically saying is it's done, it's not, and then he has the right to turn around and do that. But with the authority that your job role has and, the example that you're supposed to set, you're not really surprised that you saw the aggressiveness and the physical side that Hibs displayed that day, if that's the way that their manager's acting. So, yeah, whilst I can see that side of the argument, and it's true, you kind of give and you get, and you give your best when you do get. But I just think that from a manager's perspective, you have to uphold, you have to uphold what it is to be a manager. You can't then become a fan. You can't become involved physically in the game like that.
Yeah. Well, let's not forget, I think Hibs as a club will probably have to apprehend Neil Lennon in some form.
Yeah.
I don't think the club can let that slide. It's a negative thing to see in Scottish football. I mean, take away the red card and take away Neil Lennon's behaviour. It was an entertaining game in a certain respect. It was it was uneventful taking those two events out of it. But throwing those two events in, it just was such a negative advert. From the refereeing perspective, then I went from the manager's perspective, I was like, it just, as I say, it was just not a very good advert for Scottish football yesterday.
Yeah, completely agreed. By the way, you either passed wind there or that was a car, which?
Probably a car.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, but no, I do see what
I've got really thin double glazing.
It's a shame that is, but at the same time, do you think any other fans will really frown upon that? Do you think anyone else other than Rangers fans will be annoyed by this?
Um, well, it is right. Well, I mean, if you think about it, it's happened to Rangers, so no one's going to be bothered. They're probably
Exactly.
doing it. But I mean, it probably shows how much hatred and sort of negativity there is towards Rangers, regardless of how Neil Lennon was treated on the day. I think he was always going to do it regardless. He was dying, absolutely dying inside to do that yesterday. Getting the chance to do that, it really just epitomised him as a character as well as a manager. And I don't rate the guy at all, regardless who's played for or who I just don't rate him.
No, no, yeah, personally, I'm the same, but of course, we can't say that. Yeah, I mean, again, completely agree. And we have to say thank you to Blair for cancelling his day to do this video, because I gave him very short notice and he did it for us. But one thing that I think that we need to take away from this is things like this, particularly for managers and people like Neil Lennon, things like this are going to happen. And I think whilst there is the the negativity of the sense that this did happen and a manager did act like this towards our fans, can't get my words out today, I think there is a positivity in the sense that our fans, despite the fact we may have taunted back, we didn't jump the fence like Hibs fans so easily did in the Scottish Cup final, and we didn't go and charge him, which I think is a bloody good thing, because personally, for me it's not a big deal, but I know a lot of fans that would have been really pissed off at that.
I think the fact that if we let the club do what we want done, so we go through the official channels, we appeal against the red card, we send in footage of the tackles made by Anthony Stokes, etc., and also the actions of Neil Lennon. We then wait and see what the official response is from the SFA or the SPFL, or whatever one responds to. But yeah, I'm glad or pleased that the fans didn't then take it onto themselves to then retaliate yesterday, and have left the club to do the job that they're meant to do.
Which they have, yeah. So once again, Blair, thank you very much. And Blair's going to be more regular. He was always part of the channel. The channel was basically me and Blair. He was always the editor supreme. And yet, by the time this finishes, by the way, you're going to see a few bits snipped out, and you're also going to see the pictures. And that is the one thing that I want whoever watches this to see and judge for themselves. Is it too far? That thing, get it up you. It can either be a joke or it can be one of the most, from what I see, annoying things that Scottish people can find, which I find hilarious. It's brilliant, isn't it, having an angry Scottish person on the channel, like when recently our videos have been flooded by Celtic fans, and the English onslaught that I got was just so sweet. It was brilliant to watch it all. Yeah, if you enjoyed this, make sure that you like and subscribe, and if you want to see a face as pretty as Blair's again, then hit the subscribe button. So yeah, that's it for now, and I'm sure Blair's going to do a fantastic job on the edit. So thank you very much for watching, and here's the outro.